Y'all, Joe here with Southern Coastal Cooking. Tonight I'm going to start a brisket off, y'all. I've been wanting to cook a brisket for about a month now. I cooked one when I first got my smoker, but I'm going to cook another one. And this time I'm going to use some real stuff people use in competition. I'm going to use this Butcher's Barbecue Prime Brisket Injection. This stuff has won many awards. It's seen on Barbecue Pitmasters All-Stars. I mean, this is some good stuff here. So what we're going to do first, we're going to mix that injection up. I got about 2 cups of water, and then I get about 3/4 cups of that prime brisket injection. We're going to put that in here if it'll all fit in my cup here, right? And then we're just going to take a whisk, and we're going to stir that in there. Probably take a couple minutes in cold water. After I got all that mixed up there, I tell you what, this is a really rich mix. So you don't need to use beef stock or broth or anything. Just water will work just fine with this. So anyway, we'll set this aside for a minute when we get a brisket out. Here's a brisket, y'all. I got about a 14-pound whole packer that I trimmed up here a little bit. First thing I want to do before we do any injecting or anything, I want to rub down, get some rub here on the fat cap side. All right, so for the rub, of course, I put a little mustard. This just helps the rubs to stick. Adds it just some really good tackiness there, basically just stickiness, I mean, to the brisket. And this is what we're gonna get a rub to stick on. Now, for the rubs, I'm gonna start out with this Butcher's Barbecue, their own steak and brisket rub. Really good rub. I use this on some of that chuck eye steak, all right? No, not chuck eye steak. What am I saying? I use this on London broil. It's really good. So we're going to go over it first layer with a little bit of that. Put that on there. They say this will really kick your brisket up. What's that? Yes, sir. Put that. A little layer of that on there. And I'm going to peel the sides up just like that. I always want to make sure you get your rub on the side of your brisket or your pork butt, whatever you may be doing, because that's an important part. You don't want to go with no bark there, y'all. So we'll get that rub on there just like that and get up on the sides. Then I want to come back. What's my favorite rub right here so far is this, for brisket, is this Red Eye Express by Dizzy Pig. I love this stuff. It's a coffee infused rub, and it's just got a wonderful flavor to it. It really does something for the beef and the brisket and everything. It just kind of mingles with the sauces as well. I just love this stuff. I can't seem to do a brisket anymore without including some of this Red Eye Express. I mean, it's some of the best briskets I've ever cooked. Had this Red Eye Express on there. So anyway, we'll go ahead and get that on there. Get it on all sides just like that. Make sure we get it down the side just like I was talking about earlier. Oh yeah. Get it all up here on the point. That just done real good. On all little parts of that stuff there. Yes sir. Get all up here. Get on the very tip of the flat, even though that'll probably end up getting a little bit too done at the very tip, but you know, we sacrifice some of that. It'll be fine. The Yoder, you know, I'm gonna put this in a cooler zone down here. That way, hopefully we'll save a lot of that. So anyway, we got a good little amount of seasoning here on this side. Now what I want to do is I'm gonna go ahead and flip this brisket over. Right, and we're going to inject on this other side with the idea that overnight the injections will go down through here. They'll kind of sit and they can pool around that fat cap. They won't just drip out the bottom. I got this in the refrigerator overnight. Y'all know I got my LumberJack injector here. And let's see which way I want to kind of turn this. I think I'm going to start with the fatter side here, injecting some of this area in here. I'm going to give my injection over here just one more stir. Set this where you can see it maybe. See that over there? All right, that's good. So give it a little stir, and we're going to get this LumberJack all full of this injection. And I want to show you, I'm using this needle with the little holes in the side, and that's the one I use for all these liquid injections. I'm going to start down here in the point, in the fatty area of the points. So I want to go Go in about like that. Hopefully I can do this where you can kind of see. See, just like that. Go in the side here. Try to do this without having to touch this brisket, but maybe not. There we go. Now, got them on in here. I'm gonna give them a couple pumps with this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. Now I'll go on, move down another inch or 2, 2, 3, 4, 5. Look at that. We're getting some serious injection in there. I'm gonna keep on doing that on down the brisket, y'all. Let me see here. Go ahead on down here, punch them in, and just punch it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, sir. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is just all that goodness getting in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm gonna keep on doing that and work my way on down here through the flat, where it's a little bit thinner, if y'all can see. And this is where it really needs some of the moisture, so we'll really work hard in here to get everything injected well. Look at that, just kind of blowing it up with that good injection. Let me go ahead and finish that up for y'all. All in all, I only used about half of this, or a little more than half of this injection, because it's really enough to go ahead and do pretty much 2 12-pound briskets. So didn't have to use quite all that. So you could, I actually stuck my needle in there and it was injection, so I'm not going to store that or reuse it, but you could, if you poured it in a separate container and did your needle, was careful like that, you could use that later on, or you could use it as a base or a mop or something like that. So anyway, I'm done with the injection. You know, got a good bit down the point, and the point in the flat. That's where I mainly wanted to get it. And then we can go ahead and rub the other side. I'm going to take a paper towel and blot as much of any of the injection off the top, because that will kind of impede the rub from sticking. So what we're going to do again, we'll come back with a little bit of mustard. Get it over here on all this side here. This is going to help our rubs to stick. Love using a dual rub like this, y'all. You know, just really putting the flavor to the beef here. I mean, this is going to be magnificent. I know it is. Get some mustard on these sides here, and so you really want everything to stick everywhere. And I love, you know, I always use these little racks, cooking cooling racks or whatever, to lay my brisket on. That way it'll keep it just from sitting there soaking the bottom of the pan and all the rub coming off. Helps to kind of dry out. So I'm going in with the Butcher's Barbecue brisket and steak rub. It's really supposed to kick it up here, y'all. And you definitely want to give it a layer of that. Put it all down in here. Get on the sides for sure. Oh man, I don't want my injection coming out of there. So anyway, now I want to come back with my Dizzy Pig Red Eye Express. Oh, I love this stuff, y'all. So good on beef. Get this a good layer of this stuff here. It's got a little, you know, it's got a little bit of coffee in it actually. Really bring some flavor to the party here. Like that. So go ahead and get this all rubbed up, finished here. Get a good layer of flavor on the outside. And what this will do, this will form a nice little ready crust for when we put it on the smoker in the morning. Actually, it'll probably be about 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning when I start this bad boy. We'll get it on the sides too, y'all. We want some flavor here. And I'm going to flip it around, make sure it gets it going in too. And y'all, that's going to be about it for tonight. I'm going to set off in the chill chest, in the refrigerator, in the coldest section up, and let it just sit there and cure. Just sit there and just let this rub and this injection just do its magic, y'all. It's going to be a beautiful piece of meat come tomorrow. So anyway, that's it for tonight. Prep work done on the brisket. Y'all, we go ahead and get the Yoder 640 ready tonight. I'm going to be doing a top rack cook with this brisket. I'm going to put the point down here, closer to where the fire's a little bit hotter, and the flat up there where it's a little bit cooler. I think that'll cook very nice and evenly that way. The pellets we're going to use for this cook is a LumberJack blend tonight. We are going to use the OHC blend. That's oak, hickory, and cherry blend of LumberJack pellets. I think that's going to be a perfect blend for brisket. So I'm going to go ahead and load up the box over here. Get it ready for a long cook. There we go. So load that sucker up on that oak, hickory, and cherry. Great combination for brisket for sure. So we need to get those in there tonight. When I turn this sucker on in the morning, it's ready to rock and roll. So, oak, hickory, cherry right there. We got this one. Oh yeah, I got a new addition here. Let me show you. Hold on. Put my probe ports in the other day. They come in. I got my old probe ports right there in the side, so no more running through the smokestack on the 640. As you can see, my tap Q runs right here on the inside. And there we go. We got some probe ports, and they said those will hold about 2 probes a piece, so that'll be real good. Save me a lot of headache and everything, running everything through the smokestack, or you don't want to be running all under the door. So we got my probe ports installed too, y'all. So that's about it for tonight, y'all. We'll go ahead and try to get me a little bit of rest. We'll fire up this bad boy here in a few hours. Hey y'all, it's about 1 o'clock in the morning now. I'm gonna go ahead and get the Yoder started. We get it plugged in over here. There we go. And go ahead and get it turned on. Make sure everything's right inside. There we go. I'm gonna take these 2 tip probes out. I'm gonna set them on the outside. These will be the ones that I use just to stick in meat later on. Right, I've got an ambient temperature probe up here. So, what we're going to do, I'm going to go ahead and turn this on. We'll hit the start button. It defaults, the 640 defaults to 350. I'm going to go ahead and turn that down from that. Actually, I'm going to leave this open until it starts to catch a little fire in here. I'm going to decrease this down to about 250. And I'm going to plug in my tap cube over here, thermometer. So we can keep up with the ambient temperatures in here pretty much. I want to know what temperature is up here on the second grade. Alright. So as soon as this lights here, probably take about 5 minutes. We'll go ahead and shut this down. I'm going to let it roll for about 20-30 minutes. Let everything just get going, get a nice constant temperature in there, and then we're going to put our brisket on. Alright y'all, we're about to put the brisket on. It's about 1:30 in the morning. We'll go ahead and open up the Yoder here. Now I was just trying to, I had a light grill too over here, and I had my temperature probe for my tap cube over here. I'm just trying to keep a temp watch on how everything's doing in every part of the grill. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and lay the brisket in here. I'm going to put the point actually over on this side, so it's a little bit thicker. Some good stuff, y'all. There. That's what we're looking for. Now we get some temperature probes going here. I want my #1 temperature probe wood probe as I call it, going in the thickest part of the point over here. So we're going to stick that right down through here. Anything I'm watching here. Now we got the number 2 over here. Stick this in the thick part of the flat. About right here. Just to keep an eye on things, y'all. Right kind of in the middle of both. We've got that going, then we'll have just a temperature of what's going on inside the cooker. I've one over here. I'm going to tap the Q right there. Set it. Next in the middle of the 2. Now I've got the light grill 2 over here. This will be over here by the flat. Go ahead. Close everything down. It's going to be awesome. Man, it's going to be some good eating, y'all. So anyway, I'm going to bed. We'll check this in the morning. Oh man, it's going to be some kind of fun, y'all. Hey, how y'all doing? This morning, it's about 8:30. So we've been on the pit 6 hours. We'll go ahead and check the brisket. We'll check for its color, seeing how much smoke it's taking on, all that sort of thing. Let me get my, sorry about this, y'all. I didn't put my microphone on this morning. I'm gonna get that set up for you and we'll check the brisket and talk about it. All right, y'all, I'll be a little bit better for you. Let's check the color on this beauty. Look at that. Oh, yes, sir. That wonderful mahogany, just like that. Just what we want to see, y'all. You get a snap of that. Oh my gosh, that's the thing of beauty. So what I want to do, y'all, I want to go ahead and take this bad boy and I'm gonna wrap him in paper. And we're gonna put him back on there. And keep going slow and slow until we hit about 200. But I just want to wrap this guy in paper just because we've got enough smoke. I want to hold this this beautiful crust like it is there, that bark, and it's this beautiful mahogany color. And I want to hold some of that moisture in. So let's go ahead and wrap him. I'll show y'all. I got some paper that Aaron Franklin actually uses. I had to order it off of Amazon. It's kind of expensive. But I got just the paper because I want to be sure and use it. So before we wrap this boy, this morning, I got some mopping sauce, some of this Stubbs mopping sauce. I'm gonna put a little mopping sauce on it to give it a little bit extra kick, a little moisture and everything. So, put that on here. Watch this. And just give it a good little mop. That. We'll just dab that on there. Like I said, that's plenty of moisture over that way. I just want to get some over here on the flat. Just make sure that we got plenty moisture on this bad boy. Don't want anything drying out. Plus, this is going to add just layers of flavor. You know, I like to cook with, y'all. Just layers of flavor. Look at that. That's mopping sauce. Let that cure on here just for a minute. That's gorgeous right there. That good layer right on there just like that, folks. That's what we're looking at. So I'm getting ready to wrap the brisket now. And I'll be honest with you, the thickest part of the brisket, or the coolest part of the brisket, is about 145 right now. But I'd rather be early than late to the party on the wrap. I just don't want to dry the brisket out. I'm using this paper here. This is what I ordered off of Amazon. It's pink butcher paper. Man, like I said, it was expensive. It's like $24 for this. What is it? 40 pounds paper, 18 inches wide by 150 feet. I don't know. I mean, I had a gift certificate. I ordered it. I'm going to see how it does. But it's pink butcher paper you want to be sure to get. You don't want anything with any kind of dye or wax on it. Anyway, so we're going to go with this. See how that base is kind of cured on there? Looks wonderful. I got to get a shot of this, y'all. I'm sorry. You know, I just I love to keep up with these cooks through pictures and everything like that, so I can tell what I've done and where I'm going with everything. Let's get a photo of that, y'all. And let's pull some of these probes here. Like this is the one that was reading. This guy over here is reading 165. We'll pull it. Pretty much I'm gonna call him probe 1. This is the one that's reading about 145 right here in the middle. Pull that dude too. And then I'm gonna leave these just basically ambient temperatures. I'm gonna put this brisket down here. Oh man, look at that juice. Gorgeous. There. Go ahead. Don't want to tear the bark up too bad. I'll set this down here on this paper, y'all. Look at that. Bring you down here so you can see that beauty. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let me set these somewhere for right now. And then we're going to wrap. We're going to wrap this brisket nicely here. I got my paper all turned up underneath here. There we go. Now, we started this brisket out with the fat cap down, basically. I'm gonna flip him over and we're gonna go fat cap up. Hopefully y'all can hear me well. Just like this. Actually, get all this going here. Another piece of paper up here. I'm gonna get this wrapped a little bit better for y'all. All right, so I got them all wrapped on there. Push it over a little bit more toward the kind of more of a cooler side of the cooker. I'm gonna add the probes back in. My probe number 1 here. This one's going over here in the point. Just gonna kind of feel around where a good area is to put this thing. All right. And I'm gonna put this probe number 2 back over here, kind of toward the middle of everything. Not like that there, y'all. Let's see. All right. So we'll go ahead with that. Let all that just sit there and go. Yes, sir. All right, y'all, let's take a look at the brisket here. It's about 2 o'clock. So we wrapped that guy, I guess around 10 or so, 10:30. So my point on the brisket is about 172, about 194 in the flat. We're wrapped. Let's just see what it's looking like here. Oh yeah, look at that. Keeping everything all nice and moist. That's what I'm talking about. Move this temp probe here just a sec. We'll just make sure we get a good temp. See what's going on. But yeah, this looks really good here, y'all, with just the brisket, the way it's doing and everything like that. So we're just gonna carry on. Hey y'all, we're getting a little bit closer this evening. I've reached 180 in the thickest part of the brisket right now. So I'm gonna bring it up to about 195 or something like that. Typically what I like for brisket, at least 190. And then we'll just start kind of poking it for tenderness. And we'll take it and we'll let it rest. But 180 here. I'm gonna see what time it is. I don't even have a watch on me. I think it's about 5 o'clock. So we've been 12, 13, 14, about 14 hours now on the real low and slow here on the Yoder. But y'all, I have hit pretty much 185 in the thickest part of the point of this brisket. And I tell you, I'm only going up to one, and I'm at 202
kind of towards the flat. And the reason I'm only going to 185 because this brisket's been cooking about 16, 17 hours, real low and slow. And if you cook it real low and slow like that, you don't have to bring the temp up, the internal temp up so high. If you do, you may dry it out. If you're doing a faster cook, then let's say we're cooking at 250 or something like that, then yeah, you wait for the temperature to come up to about 203 or something like that. But I think we can pull at 185 here, I think we'll be fine. Hey y'all, I've got the brisket up to about 185, 186. That's where I want to see it. What I'm saying is that's the thickest part of the point. And the reason I'm not taking it to about 200, so this has been a really low and slow cook, about 17 hours or so. When you cook them really low like this, you don't have to bring them up to 200 degrees because you could stand to dry them out. So you can pull them about 185, wrap them in tight foil, and put them in a cooler or something like that and let them rest for about an hour. I'm about 202, 203 in the flat, so that's really good. I think that's perfect. I wrapped a little foil around the bottom of this paper just a minute ago. I apologize I didn't get that on camera, but what we're going to do is we're going to put a little bit more foil on here just to seal all this up here, and we'll drop this off in the cooler. And this is just going to stay warm. It's going to carry over cook and let rest for about an hour before we slice into it. Oh, yes, sir.
All right, y'all, this is it. This is the brisket we have been waiting for. Man, oh man, it smells wonderful. Just as tender as can be. What I want to do, I'm going to kind of just lift the flat up off the point here. Look at that. It's just coming right apart, y'all. It's gorgeous. I'm sitting here with a spatula doing this. Basically separating these two muscles so we can slice them. Let's see, get in there real quick. That's what we're looking for right there. Alright, so here's basically the flat. We'll set that right over here. Look at that. Oh wow. Look at this point. Looks magnificent here, y'all. I just gotta cut me a little nub off of this thing. There's something here. Get some of this, the outside. Look at that smoke ring right there. Yes, sir. Look at that, y'all. That is gorgeous. That is something else. That's what I'm talking about. Oh man. That is fine right there. Yes, sir. That's right there underneath some of that old fat cap. I gotta try this. Man. Outstanding. Oh, it's magnificent. I'll tell you what. You can't beat that. Oh, wow. It just comes apart just like butter. Oh, just look at this flat too. Look at that bend to it, just like that, what you want. Just give it a little bit of pull, comes right apart. Great flavor, y'all. Like smoke ring, y'all, man. This butcher's really did it up. Great stuff, man. We'll definitely be trying this again. Can't beat some great brisket like this, y'all. Y'all please sub my channel. God bless. Y'all come back and see me. Remember, I'll put the links in the description box if you want to get any of this stuff. We're going to try some of this great brisket, man. Good on that Yoder.